What's going on, everyone? 4 and 3 Bros back with another video. Today we're going to be installing universal seat heaters from Dorman, link in the description. These are going in the Toyota. It's 37 degrees outside right now. It is the end of October. As you can see, fall is in full swing. It's cold. It is cold. So yeah, these universal seat heaters, I got these from Amazon, Dorman. There's a couple other brands like Water Carbon and like KYB. I don't know those brands. I know Dorman. I've bought in many parts from Dorman over the years, and I didn't mind spending the extra. Money. You know, these are right here, made right here in the USA. That's the pads. They have holes in them for the seat channels. I'll show you that. It's got the high-low switch, wire harness, fuse tap. It has wire ties. It comes with everything. The hog ring pliers, the new hog rings. We're gonna see. I don't even know if we even need any of this. Basically, I gotta tear it apart to find out. But yeah, I'll show you the Toyota. My seats are beat. This is my winter beater, right? But I drive this way more than I drive that. That thing sits there. I love this thing. This thing's got tons of power, big, comfortable, all-wheel drive. I've got a nice double din head unit in there, Sony. I've got a Amazon Fire Stick light in there. I don't watch videos while I drive. I watch videos on my lunch break. Anyway, so this seat is beat. This seat is pretty tatted up. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to see when I take it off. I have cleaned these, but they're very, very stained. So when I take the cover off, I'm gonna see if maybe I can throw another stitch or two in these. They're gross. I'm totally aware, but they're stained. These have been extracted recently. None of these stains come out. So it's whatever. Like I said, it's my winter beater. It's no big deal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unbolt the seat after I unplug it. And look at that. There's still trash under there. What a surprise. I have a 9-month-old baby. I've not had the time to keep my cars clean like I normally do. But yeah. So basically, I'm going to unbolt the seat. It is just... I've already had these seats out prior when I bought this. 14 mil, if I remember correctly. 4 of them. We're going to zip those out, and we're going to get that plug that's under there. Unplug that. Make sure you disconnect your battery first, guys. Anytime you're working with electronics or unplugging your seats, if they have a airbag, these I don't believe these. Yeah, these do not have any airbags in them. Otherwise, usually you get a tag right here that says it. There's no airbag, so the sensor underneath the seat is just basically didn't let them know that you're in the seat and all that. Alright, so I just want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. This is a 2006 Toyota Highlander. It's the first generation. So this body style is from 2001, 2007. So if you're doing it on this particular vehicle, procedure is going to be the same. And more or less, this is going to work for most cars. This is going to pretty much be the same thing for a lot of cars across the board. Obviously, you're going to have different clips. You're going to have different means of taking everything apart, but the initial part of it's pretty much going to be similar. So this will work in other cars as well. All right, so we got our gross seat in the house on some cardboard on the kitchen table. Not really that worried. It's a hand-me-down table anyway, but so it looks like we got to take, there's a plastic channel here. We have to take that off. You have to take this knob, really hard to see. You got the light going, maybe I don't. Really hard to see, but there's a plastic clip holding this knob on. And it looks like we have a door here, so we have to take that off so we can take these plastic covers off. There's a little tab inside that just comes off like that. Got some screws. Hopefully I don't screw something up when there's some wild spring or anything in there. I tried finding a video on this particular vehicle, and there's like 2 videos, and they're like old, and I don't give the best descriptions, but 2 Phillips screws holding this on. Oh, this is grody. Jesus. This thing is beat. I know it's beat. Some people, what they do is they put the pads over the top and then they just throw a seat cover on. I looked, and this has got the armrest. I didn't see any seat covers that I really like that had the armrest. There's some that don't have it. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I'm on the fence still. But for now, we're going to try this. So that's off. Already see off the bat I got this thing to unclip. Oh, cutting myself to pieces on this metal under here. So that loosens up that, and it looks like I have 2 Phillips screws here holding this back part on. There. Alright guys, so apparently the camera stopped recording. Don't know what happened there, but I got this side taken apart. It was just held on by a couple of tabs. There was a Phillips screw here in the back, and this side piece had a snap here and a snap here. This it snapped off, so I don't know. There's a little black plug here. I unbolted the seat belt that was attached to this to make it easier. It wasn't recording, but there was a tab here. All that does is pull up. Like that. Okay. Now there is a push pin here. Drop the yellow push pin. That's there. Now I already got the Phillips screw off, so all I'm going to do is just pull this side around. And I really don't know about this top. It's supposedly a snap like the rest of them. So I'm going to pop this black guy off right here. This push pin. Now this seat's gonna yeet at me. So just trying to kind of feel and see what's going on. Now that I have both the sides apart, I'm going to, and 2 Phillips screws. You can see this is just a channel. It's literally just a plastic channel. I'm assuming this is the same thing. And this is the channel that I was talking about. So we run into our first hog ring. Show you guys quick. So I got this one off. All my good tools are at Tyler's house, of course. Basically, I'm just twisting these off. Very little effort. So, looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna take the rest of those off. Proper workbench. And doing some pull action. And she's free. All right. Also getting stuff on everything. Last hog ring. All right. So now, we have this plastic channel. So I'm going to feel inside there and see what I have to do to take that apart so we can get this off and lay our pad on. I'll hit you guys back soon, guys. All right, as you guys can see, maybe, in here, what a surprise, there's more hog rings. So there's a metal channel. I'm trying to get it so you can see. There's a metal channel in there and there's hog rings holding the seat cover to the metal hog ring, or to the metal channel. So I'm gonna pop those off and I will let you guys know how many there is. So I already opened up, I unboxed this kit here. And these are the pliers, and everyone in the comments say that these hog rings and these pliers are junk. I'm gonna not talk crap about the company because they do make good stuff and they were nice enough to supply the people with this, but I mean, these, it's like a damn staple. Like they're in, it's extremely, like, that little bit, I just bent the hell out of that. So I am not going to be running these. I'm gonna use zip ties. That kind of sounds crazy, but that's what everybody does that does these. They use zip ties. These are, you can hear them. It's, these OEM ones are beefy as hell. So if you want to do it the right way, if your car is much nicer than mine, by all means, you try to use these, or, you know, you can get some nicer ones and do it that way. I really don't think I'm gonna have any problems with zip ties holding this in. All right, so the bottom seat is off. I got most of the hog rings off. My wife is throwing a stitch in that one ripped part for me. And this side here, I was trying to figure out how, most of the time, you'll notice that there's a hard plastic clip. Like in my Volkswagen, there's a hard plastic clip here and the half split here. But in this case, I have this pocket here. So when I took these screws off, I noticed that this thing is kind of loose. So I was running my hand inside here and this comes down. So that is gonna sit here. So I didn't undo this side because I didn't want to take it the rest of the way apart. I think I'm only gonna loosely attach this just to keep tension off that seam from splitting. And basically all I gotta do is set this exactly where I want it, and that's gonna go something like that there. Okay, so I got this on. It's not sticking insanely well. This part doesn't have adhesive, but it's the 4 edges that do. So that's on there. This is where this attaches to here. Okay, you can see I still have to take one of the hog rings out, but So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use zip ties. I'm not gonna fight with trying to use those cheap hog rings that came with it. I've seen plenty of videos where people use zip ties, and I don't see how I'm gonna have a problem with using zip ties. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put probably 3 or 4 on there and tuck that all in, and I will get back to you when I do that. All right, we are zip tied up. So I have all the 3 or 4 zip ties in there. Hard to see. They're in there. This channel is actually, this side is factory hog rings, and this side is the zip ties. Obviously I have this lifted, but it's strong. That's not gonna come apart. I was a little hesitant at first doing it that way, but I'm not worried about that at all. So one there, one there. This is a lot easier to show you. One there. So I'm gonna take off probably these 2 and just see if I can get access to this. So I'm gonna do that off camera. It's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, I got those hog rings out. One here, one here, one here, and one here. And then there was 3 in this little center section. That's all I'm gonna do, same thing. So I'm gonna stick the pad on. Alright, so that's what I came up with. You're not supposed to cut it, you're not supposed to fold it or anything based on the instructions that I just read, but I got no damn choice. There's no way to put this where the bottom, this cushion is too small the way it's designed. So it is what it is. If it ends up cutting the life of it short, and I have to replace just this top panel, then I'll end up putting it on the seat in between the cover or something. But hopefully this is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie this back together. I'll do a little bit and show you. I got the center section in. That's all back. I definitely don't care for how this pad is fitting. I really don't. It is what it is. Nothing I can really do about it now. So yeah, I'm going to install these last 4 and I'll get you back. Alright, so I had to kind of get everything back in and tuck it all in. And one thing that I had to do was, in order to not feel this cord, I had to cut a slit in the foam and run the wiring in the slit. I did the same thing on the back. You can still kind of feel it. I'm not gonna lie and make it seem like you can't. You can definitely still feel it. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I want you guys to keep in mind too when you order this kit is measure your seats. Measure your seat widths, because it tells you how big the pad is. And my seat, the pad is, the seat itself is narrower than the pad. And they freak out and they tell you all these warnings. Don't freaking fold it. Don't fold it after installation. It needs, folds can cause it to short, yada yada. It kind of sucks. I guess, do your homework. It's not the product's fault. I guess I, should have did a better job researching and stuff, but it is what it is. So hopefully, it works for a long time and I don't have any problems with it. But for now, I'm just going to reassemble the seat the rest of the way, and then I'm going to give you guys a little update here and there. Alright, you can see our seat is back together. My wife stitched this up, and like I said, I did leave this loose. I'm gonna get covers to cover the beat up seat. Couple wrinkles and stuff like that I gotta settle out and all that, but this certainly wasn't fun. I've done better things on a Sunday, not gonna lie, but hey, that's what I signed up for. That's what I wanted. End result, we have our plugs here, so I'm gonna bring the seat up to the car and we'll plug it in. Alright, so this looks a little weird, but before I run the wiring harness and all that, I'm just testing to make sure that they warm up. That back seat kind of had me a little worried. Well, it's like 50 degrees outside, and sitting on it out here heats up pretty good. So I'd say it's safe to go ahead and wire everything up nicely. Alright, quick little update. I got the access panel open here so I can tuck my wiring in and pull it along the shifter. That's where cars that have factory heated seats, the blanks go. So what I did was I popped the blank out and I just dremelled it out and put it in there. So it'll fit in there all nice. So what I'm doing now, I also wired up a ADA circuit to one of my fuses that turn on with the key. And what I'm doing is I'm just running a short piece with a male spade connector because that's has a female spade connector. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the seat in. I'm gonna bolt the seat down now that I know everything works. I'm gonna plug it all in, tuck all my wiring up nice and neat, and plug everything in. Everything is just simple plug and play with this. There's your relay, so I'm gonna end up sticking that underneath the dash somewhere, and this is the plug for the switch. So very simple stuff, and it just has a ground. That's why I showed you that one ground wire. I'm just gonna ground it there with this, and I'm just gonna run this like this until I do the other seat. So for you guys, that's gonna be probably in this video. So, all right, we got a little update. So, seat's back in. Wiring is all tucked in here. You can see it's this one here. I got it looped into here, and then it's just tucked underneath there, and it goes in. It goes in. All the wiring is in here. And I have it on high right now. As you can see, I drilled out the blank to where the factory heated seat switches are, and yeah, this feels incredible. So I just have the driver's side done for today. This took all day. This took all day. This was certainly not easy. Based on whatever seats you have, it could be a walk in the park. I know my Jetta would be a walk in the park. This, having all that thing in the back and just being a complicated seat with an armrest and all that stuff, it was tricky. It was all hog rings, and you know, it sucked. But it's done. It feels awesome. It is so nice having heated seat in this. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to watch this footage that I've already recorded and see if I'm going to record the other side. I very well might, and if I do, you'll see that next. And what I'll end up doing is I'm going to tie in the wiring together so it's just one fuse going into, one fuse and one set of wires going into the fuse tap, and it'll all be nice and clean. One thing I want to make you guys aware of is if you're gonna do this on your daily, this is your one car, take your time. Take your time. If it takes you all day and you get one seat done and it's perfect, take the time and do it right. Go slow, take pictures if you have to. This is tedious. This is very tedious. So one thing I'm going to show you guys is, I'm going to flip you around. So right here, you feel the connector inside the pad. The pad is here. This is where the wiring starts. So my suggestion is, in this area where it connects, take some of the seat padding down. Scrape it off, cauterize it with a soldering iron or something, and take a chunk out and tuck in your wiring, because you feel it. I mean, it's gonna wear in and it's gonna soften up and stuff like that. And after driving my car around for a week with the driver's side done, I really don't notice it. So it's not the end of the world. But the next time I do this, which there will be a next time because everyone's gonna want this done now that doesn't have it done in their beaters, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and remove some of that padding there. But yeah, I mean, my Jetta is 5 years old. Would I do this on my Jetta if I was planning on keeping it for longer than another year? I probably would. But to try and cut costs and buy a new car and do this myself, hell no. You know, take it to the shop, have it professionally done, and you'll probably end up with, you know, a little bit better results if you're worried about it. But for me, this is my beater. You can see it doesn't look perfect, and it's gonna take a few times of you sitting on this seat for it to look the way it did. You know, this thing's been reefed on, it's been stretched and all that. It's gonna take time to go back to the way it was. All right, everyone. Final update and overall thoughts. I'll show you. Right now I'm just using a couple of anti-fuses for each of the seats. This one is for something else. This is for my Amazon Fire Stick. I'm gonna be combining these two. I'm gonna make a proper connection. There's just female and male spade connections there, and I have them in two different locations. I don't have any butt connectors, so it's fused there, and then the factory wiring that came with the Dorman kit has a little fuse in it, and that's all tucked in nicely under here. I still have to go back in and take this back off and properly do a connection, because I don't have any butt connections here. I had no butt connectors, my soldering gun, all that stuff is all at Tyler's house. So I don't really care for the way this is. This is temporary. This is gonna make the video though, so for now I'm gonna leave it. But I am going to be replacing probably this one and just running both of them on one circuit and be getting rid of the connections there, and I'll be doing proper heat shrink butt connectors and using heat shrink tubing over them, and it'll be on one circuit. So I'm gonna go on passenger side and try that seat out. So everything is tucked in just like the last one, just like this side. I know this thing is filthy. It's November, it's gonna snow, so I'm not really that worried. And you can see I'm using the factory locations with the Dorman switches. Looks pretty good. Well, everyone, that's gonna do it for this video. I just wanted to go over a couple final thoughts that I probably mentioned during this video, but this was long. This was tedious. This is really tedious, but I'm happy. This is my beater, and I spent a lot of time in this thing, so I want to be comfortable all winter long in these nice heated seats. And I have been driving around with the driver's side done for about a week, and I tell you what, it's hot. If you put that thing on high, you can't leave it on high for more than 4 or 5 minutes or so, because it gets really hot. I guess that would be one of my complaints. That maybe there should be a middle section, like a medium setting. Hot is brutally hot. Low is pretty good. Low is pretty good, but three-way switch would have been perfect in this situation. So my other thoughts is when I do this again, I will be trimming out the foam to hide that hard wire connection there. And my other thing that I didn't care for with this kit was the fact that it says not to bend it in any way or tuck it or fold it in any way. I had to tuck the edges into the seat here, just the edges. There's no wiring, there's no little circuit tucked in, it's just the edges. But you know, what are you gonna do? This is a universal kit. They don't all fit perfectly in every vehicle, I'm sure, but overall, I'm really happy. They're really hot, and you start the car and you put these on even on low, and I mean, I'm not even kidding, within a minute you're already warm. I would honestly say it's less than that, but so far so good. Really happy with them. And yeah, guys, any comments or questions, just let me know, and see you in the next one. Later.